What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Sandy, and today's episode we're going to be discussing the death of Tim Mclean. I am so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but let me give you my disclosure first. This case is really sickening. So let me give you this case disclosure. Warning, Tim's story is horrifying and gruesome. If you can't handle topics such as murder and death, please exit the video, and I am sure we'll see you in another case. Consider this your first and last warning. If you are ready, let's jump right into it. Let's go. Alright, we're back. Tim Mclean was born on October 3rd, 1985, in a small town called Manitoba in British Columbia. Tim was described by his friends and family as a outgoing, fun, lovable person. He made friends easily. Tim's uncle, Alex Mclean, described his nephew as a little man. Tim's uncle described his nephew as a loving. No, I'm reading this wrong. Let me focus on this. I'm reading off the script right now. Tim's uncle described his nephew as a little man with a big heart. Tim loved traveling, but little did he know that his love for traveling would be the reason why he would be cut short. So this horrifying story of Tim Mclean is going to be insanely wild. And I literally mean that. It's crazy. Really unbelievable. How they just let people out of jail who should not have been out of jail to start off with, but okay. Tim Mclean was a 22-year-old carnival worker on his way home from work on July 30th, 2008. At 12:01 p.m., Tim Mclean boarded the Greyhound bus 1170. And he sat towards the back of the bus, toward the second row from the back by the window seat. Now, this trip from his carnival work was going to be a 22-hour drive. So Tim decided to get his headphones with him to keep him busy for that 22-hour bus ride. At 6:55, bus 1170 made a stop at Erickson, Manitoba, and a 40-year-old Vince Lee, we will be calling him Lee from now on this story. Lee was a Chinese immigrant who immigrated to Canada. Lee boarded the bus 1170 and sat in the front of the bus for the first section of the trip. At 8 p.m., the bus took a rest stop. At 8 p.m. they took the rest stop, and Lee decided to step out of the bus to take a smoke break. When it was time to go back on the bus, Lee headed towards the back of the bus where Tim was sitting. While he was walking in the direction of where Tim was sitting, he was looking at everyone on this, giving them mean eyes, or the creepy eyes to everyone on that bus. He was trying to pick out a victim. On the second from the last aisle, Tim was sitting on the window and the window seat, and the seat next to him was empty. So at that time, Tim gestured for Vince Lee to sit next to him. To go ahead and sit next to him on that seat, it's available for them to sit. Tim pressed his head against the window and started to fall asleep at this point. Lee was quiet until one of the passengers noticed that his behavior started to shift. He started to shift, like getting suspicious. He was rocking back and forth, and then began talking in a low voice. It sounded like a Chinese chant, said the passenger that was interviewed. People said it wasn't alarming until Vince pulled out a knife out of his backpack and stabbed Tim in the neck. While Tim was asleep, Tim was shocked back to reality and started screaming in pain and started panicking and screaming in pain. Now Tim did try to fight back, but Vince just kept stabbing him over and over and over again. Of course, this was a brutal scene caused by people on it was a brutal scene that caused people on the bus to start screaming and go into a panic. Of course, that's like suitable. Everybody knows that. I myself would freak the hell up. And going into it. While people were telling the driver to stop the bus, Vince pulled him down to the ground and continued stabbing him, showing him no sort of mercy. This guy just kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. When the bus stopped in the emergency stop lane, the passengers rushed out of the bus while the bus driver and two other brave souls stayed back to try to help Tim. When Vince Lee saw the three of them come in their direction, he literally lost his shit and started to wave the bloody knife in their direction. When they exited the bus, Lee began to hack off Tim's head with the same knife he used to stab him. After he hacked Tim's head off, he stood up. Lee stood up with Tim's head in one hand and the bloody knife in the other hand. Wow. This caused some people to get sick, and even some of them fainted, and caused the kids to start crying. I mean, understandable, but it's sickening to the stomach because you never know what's going to happen at that time. But then yet, people lose their minds and decide it's a good idea to do that on a bus where there's a whole bunch of witnesses and all that. But I mean, make it make sense. Why would you go out and stab somebody that many times, decapitate them? Okay, let me just get back to the story because I'm gonna lose my mind and I'm gonna get back to the story. I'm reading off a script, but this shit's crazy. At this time, when everybody started piling off the bus, they were on the emergency lane, and then this brave trucker came by the name of Chris Aguilar. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. He stopped his truck to help the people defend themselves with crowbars and hammers. Once Lee saw Chris coming with hammers and crowbars, he tried to get off the bus, but the bus driver and the passenger and Chris acted quickly by shutting the bus door so that Lee could not escape. But just like in a scary movie, he opened the door. He opened the door back up. Didn't try to leave. He stayed inside the bus while law enforcement were called and on their way. Lee had the bright idea of walking up and down the bus aisle with the bloody knife in one hand and in the other hand Tim's head. Then he cut open Tim's chest and began to cut his heart, lungs, liver, and intestines. He then took the three organs and hung them throughout the bus. He took Lee's organs and hung them throughout the bus just to torment the passengers. How nasty is that? Number 2, why? I don't care. You knew what you were doing. You came with a knife in your backpack. That to me is first degree murder. That was planned. I don't care. I really don't care. Nope. It's first degree murder. You planned it. Then Lee went back to the body and prayed on both eyes. Ew. And then pried out both of his eyes, and the third. Ew. And then he cut out a third of his heart. Oh my god. I think I'm getting sick. He then cut off the nose and the ears and then ate. Shit. Okay, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm sick. He then cut Tim's nose and ears and ate them in front of the passengers. Oh my god. And in order to taunt them some more, Lee looked at the passengers and smelled the severed organs, then licked Tim's body. Oh my god. And then licked Tim's blood, the knife that he used to stab Tim, and licked the blood off the knife in front of the passengers. Thank you very much. He just took the knife and goes, what's wrong with you? Just to torment the passengers on the bus. Ew. Oh my god, I'm losing. Ew. Bad vision. I cannot take this off of my memory. Lee had brought bags with him so that he could store the body parts he cut off. Oh my god. That's trifling. That's nasty. Oh my god. Oh. At 9 p.m., the officers at the bloody crime scene had shown up and tried to reason with Lee, but Lee refused to cooperate with law enforcement. What would say I can't leave this bus? I have to stay here. Lee would let me rephrase that. Lee would say to the officers, I can't leave this bus. I have to stay here forever. I have to stay on this bus forever. Okay. And then continued to dissect Tim's body from his... Oh my god. Then continued to Okay. Lee said, I can't leave this bus. I have to stay here forever. And then he continued to dissect Tim's body for hours. After going at this for a while, Lee was going after this for a while. Nowhere. Lee tried to make a run for it, but he didn't go far because there was a law enforcement officer and a K-9 waiting for him on the other side of the bus. While the crime scene was being analyzed, they found Tim's nose and ears and tongue in Lee's pocket. Oh my god. He was sent to the hospital and treated for his injuries that he sustained while stabbing Tim. How nice. How very Jesus-like of them. How very nice of them to do that. I don't think he should have been treated for his injuries from how stupid he is. What about the loss? What about what happens? What about his family? What did Tim do to Lee other than be nice for him and to offer him a seat when nobody else on the bus would? But this shit's crazy. And get this. he was found guilty, and then when his lawyer tried to appeal his life sentence, and then he go back and they diagnosed him. They tried to plead, not the second time around. They tried to appeal by saying that Tim was not in the sane of mind, not guilty due to insanity. One, it is not guilty due to insanity because he intentionally put that knife in his backpack before leaving home, before getting on the bus. He knew that there was a knife in his backpack. He knew he was stabbing him. He knew that saying that I can't get off the bus, I'm stuck here forever. He said that with his own mouth. He chose to not cooperate with the officers. So yeah, he is guilty. He's not insane. He's just fucking nasty. He chose to eat the body parts. He chose to torment the innocent passengers. He chose. I mean, these passengers will never, ever, ever, ever forget this day because of this dude's crazy self. His selfishness. He took a life of an innocent guy who was just being nice. He robbed a family from he robbed his mom from his son. He robbed his friends from being around his friends. He robbed his family from having him. All because of his annoying thought that he had the right to play God. No. Not funny. Not cool. None of that. Lee, I hope he dies in the most suffering way. This dude needs not life. Don't give him life. Give him death. Don't give him death. Give him hell in jail. He does not deserve an ounce of happiness for what he did. What about his family, who's never going to see him again? What about his friends? What about the future that he was only 22 years old? His life was cut at 22 years old because a 40-year-old Chinese immigrant who decided it would be a good idea to stab a 22-year-old because it was his convenience. Because maybe today I'll wake up and maybe I should stab somebody to death. Maybe I should dissect the person. No. Nah. And he tried to also put a claim that God told him to do this. God did not tell you to do this, bro. No. You should be put in the hospital, mentally checked. I don't care what you say, but you should never, ever, ever see the daylight again. You should never see daylight again. I'm sorry, but this guy does not deserve to be on earth anymore. From what he did to poor innocent Tim Mclean. Everybody, please put prayer hands in the comment section down below for Tim Mclean. Please, God. Young Prince, please. Rest in peace. Anyways, I'm your host, Sandy Almaty. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe down below for more stories like this. We need to put a stop to this insanity that's happening around us. It is just insane what's going on. Oh, guys, please give me some stories down below that you would like me to talk about more. But without further ado, I'll see you next time. Peace.